Okay, let's put it all together. And to do that, the first thing I want you to do is what we just did with the phase shift and factor what is inside these parentheses. So step one, I want you to take theta over 3. Well, that's really theta times a third. And we're going to rewrite that as 1/3 times theta plus, and then how much is 3/4 divided by 1/3? So 3 pi over 4 divided by 1/3. I'm just dividing by that b value. So taking the 3 pi over 4 divided by that coefficient on theta. And that is the same as 3 pi over 4 times 3 over 1, which takes you to 9 pi over 4. Okay, so really what I have as far as a function is y equals 2 times the cosine of 1/3 theta plus 9 pi over 4 with a plus 3 on the end. If you've written it like this, it's super straightforward to find everything you need. Amplitude, that is just the absolute value of your A number. Absolute value of 2 is just 2. For period, that's going to be 2 pi over the absolute value of B. B is just that number in front of the parentheses that was originally in front of the theta. Dividing by 1/3 is the same as multiplying by 3. So our period is 6 pi. So it got stretched out. For your phase shift, simply take a look at what's in the parentheses with that theta. It's a plus, so it's going to be to the left. How much? 9 pi over 4. And then for the vertical shift, take a look at the back. That's a plus, so it's going to be up by 3 spots. Now let's put it all together here. I want to see the transformation actually happen. So in blue is where we want to end up. In orange is our basic parent cosine graph. First, let's do our stretching. So we want to stretch vertically by a factor of 2, make it twice as tall. And now let's do the horizontal stretching. I want to make it 3 times as long. So put the 1/3 in, and there we are. So they're not lined up yet, but the shapes of the graph seem to be pretty close, right? If we can just move them up and over, they should line up on top of each other. Let's take a look then at that vertical shift, so plus 3. So now we've got the midlines at the same point. I now just need to do my phase shifting. So if I put in my parentheses, my plus, a 9 pi over 4, just like that, sure enough, move it 9 pi over 4, and now everything is lining up just as it should. And that is the proper order to look at your transformations. Stretch it and stretch it, then shift it and shift it. Okay, let's go again. I would like you to do a quick pause here. Try this one yourself, and then unpause when you are ready to check things out. All right, first we're going to focus inside these parentheses. I want to rewrite this. So take the 4, divide it out. I need to know what's pi over 6 divided by 4. Well, that is the same as pi over 6 times the reciprocal of 4, which is pi over 24. Now the minus just stays a minus, so this is going to be a phase shift to the right by pi over 24. Let's now rewrite the equation. So y equals -1 plus 1/7 cosine parentheses 4 parentheses theta minus pi over 24. Now we should be able to figure everything out. Amplitude. It's going to be shrunk down this time, so a squished down little graph. So 1/7, because the absolute value of 1/7 is still just 1/7. So from that midline, it only goes up and down a very little bit. For the period, start with 2 pi, divide by the absolute value of the b, so divided by absolute value of 4. That's just 2 pi over 4. Reduce your fraction, and you've got pi over 2. Your phase shift, take a look in your parentheses. Minus means we're going to the right. How far? Well, pi over 24 to the right. And then lastly, your vertical shift, you're looking for the number that's separated. This time it's in the front. And that is going to be a vertical shift down 1. Okay, well, let's run through those transformations again, give it a check. So start with your cosine function. We're going to first shrink it down, and then we're going to shorten the period. So replace my x there with a 4x, and now I'm going through things 4 times as fast. So a quick little bumpy graph. Let's then compare with where we're supposed to end up. All right, so it looks like we got the shape about right. We just need to lower it and move it over a little bit. Let's do that vertical shift first. Now, I hope you can see they're almost lined up, just not quite. In order to get my orange to match my blue, I've got to move it. I've got to move it to the right by pi over 24. So take orange, move it to the right by pi over 24, and we should be where we want to be, pi over 24. And look at that, lines up just like butter. So there is how you analyze your graphs. I do encourage you to check them by actually looking and seeing what the graphs do. Here now is what I would put in all the blanks on the last portion of the fill-in for the toolkit. So as you go through that practice power assignment, see what you think would be helpful to put here on the other side. And I wish you the absolute best there as you work with your functions.